Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Premiership Quarter. Here we do previews of the AFL round, reviews of the AFL round, and much more. So make sure to not miss that. A way you can not miss that is by subscribing to the channel and ringing that little bell that you will get the option to subscribe to once you've hit the subscribe button. That's all for the intro. We're just going to go through round 5, round by round, and go from there. For each game, I'll tell you my player to watch. Should be good. Let's go. It's Brisbane and it's Collingwood, and it's at the Gabba in Brisbane. Brisbane, they're coming off a loss. It's a controversial loss. Let's be real. You're kidding yourself if you don't think that was a blatant push in the back from Tom Hawkins, but that is football sometimes. Umpires are humans, not machines. They did well to keep in the game. I thought they were just beating around the football, contested ball. Geelong had more scoring shots, if I'm not mistaken. Collingwood were dismal. Where do we start? I've seen a lot of articles saying, they lost to a waffle side. West Coast aren't a waffle side. They had Nick Nat in, Kennedy in, a lot of that. Willie Rioli, who's I'll get to him in a minute, in, Liam Ryan in, Tommy Barrass and Jeremy McGovern. They had so many premiership stars, all Australian stars in. I just don't know about this waffle narrative. And the players that come in, Aaron Black, no one gives him credit, but he's a good player, Collingwood really had him on the ropes there. Myercheck was on fire, but West Coast found a way to get back. We'll talk about Willie Rioli. Round 2 as well, he tore it up against North Melbourne. They didn't get the job done that game, but it's just great. It's great for football to see him back after the issues. I really like West Coast's small forward line. If they can get back some of their other keys, like Allen, I think Allen's going to be a very good player. But this is about Collingwood and Brisbane. You'd think on the night Brisbane should be too strong. They're very fierce at the Gabba. North Melbourne learned that the hard way a few weeks ago. Will be too strong here. Brisbane by 40 points. Friday, Arvo, it's North Melbourne and it's the Bulldogs. Obviously, I can't wait for this game as a North Melbourne fan. The Bulldogs are down. The Bulldogs are wounded. I don't think they're wounded enough to lose to North Melbourne here. But I think the media have pointed out this a bit, but the Bulldogs have been leaking goals to key forwards. I'll show you a kind of graph on the screen there. It's just the Bulldogs' key problem. I don't think all the blame should go directly to Alex Keith. I think it's more their defensive system that's causing the problem. Which is why I think the match winner in this game, if North Melbourne are going to win, after a bit of a down week from this player last week, the man is Nick Larkey. He has to step up this week if North Melbourne are going to be any chance of winning this game on Good Friday. Nick Larkey is the player to watch, in my opinion. The Western Bulldogs, they're not horrible, they're just not quite as good. It's hard to grade teams so early in the season. Maybe Richmond are just phenomenal, who knows. But North Melbourne, they're going to be beaten around the midfield, which means their defence has to really hold up. Obviously last year their defence just wasn't strong enough, but this year's a different story because Josh Bruce will not be playing. Maybe Zeeble, even though he's played such a good game up forward last week, kicking 5 goals, maybe he needs to go back and support his defence because it's just going to be coming out of the middle again and again because of the Dogs' names in their midfield. Bailey Smith only gets talked about because of his looks, but he is an incredible player, racks up the footy and really hurts you. So I think the Dogs should win this. It's going to be a more entertaining game than last year, that's for sure. West Coast, Sydney and Perth. Sydney will be without Buddy, West Coast will be without Nick Nat. Look, one team just pops straight into your head when you think of a winner, and that's, of course, Sydney. Sydney did the bare minimum against North. West Coast, we touched on their win. I think Buddy's a big out. I think he is a big out, and I think that leads us to our player to look out for, which is Logan McDonald. Ever since round 1, 2021 against Brisbane, he kicked 3. It's all he's really done. He just hasn't quite had that big breakout game, and I think he's got pretty much the whole forward 50 to himself. He's obviously got some smaller players like Heaney and Hayward to help him out. I think McDonald needs a big game. I think he's a player to watch. Let's look at West Coast for a bit. If they get some of their mids back, like Shuey and Yo, they can maybe give Sydney a bit of a run, but I think Sydney, this is just a game that they have to win if they're going to be taken seriously as premiership contenders. So. Saints Suns. The Saints, they were the best team of round 4. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. Gold Coast were very impressive too. They gave Carlton a real reality check there. I really liked Noah Anderson's game. 30 and a goal for him. I really thought he was impressive. St Kilda, they just have stars all over the board. Tim Memory is one who just never gets talked about, but he's been such a consistent goal kicker this whole time, and one that's got a lot of talk about him this week. Max King, of course. I think if Gold Coast are going to win, they have to get some more out of their famous young gun, Matthew Rowell, former number 1 draft pick. He just hasn't quite recaptured that same form that he did in early 2020. And if he does, I think Gold Coast are just going to be such a better team for it. I think this could go either way, this game, but I'm leaning towards St Kilda, especially considering it is at Marvel Stadium. I thought Gold Coast, I just want to touch on Gold Coast and how they've actually done a bit better. They've made a pretty good makeshift key forward line without Ben King, of course, doing the ACL, unfortunately. But with Chol, Casbolt, I think Corbett could step up a bit. I really like Josh Corbett. I think he's a good player. So if he can step up, I think the Suns can win a few games, maybe including this game. I think the player to watch, as I said, is Matt Rowell.
What is going on?
I'm filming.
Dude, what? Are you okay?
I'm trying to get out.
Filming what?
A video.
What video?
A video.
About what? Tap!
I've got deodorant and I'm going to spray you.
Alright.
Oh, I've got deodorant on me. Adelaide Richmond, excited for this one. The Tigers, they look really good. They beat the Dogs, who are not the best team going around at the moment. But I just want to touch on Shea Bolton, best player at Richmond, one of the better players in the comp. You just don't want to be tackling him. It would just look stupid. And the goals he kicks are just freakish. You just know something's going to happen when he has the ball. He is one of those players for sure. Looking at Adelaide, I thought they showed some good signs against Essendon. Unlucky not to pull that result. Tex Walker looked good on his first game back. One player, and this is a player to watch for this game, Josh Rachele. What a start he's had to his AFL career. When he's up and about, the Crows just look so lively up forward. If he can get off the chain against Richmond, Adelaide are definitely one step or even 2 steps closer to winning this game, because he's a match winner already, Josh Rachele. Melbourne Giants at the G. Melbourne can't do anything wrong. They cannot put a foot wrong. They look unstoppable at the moment. GWS, Fremantle get the better of them. The umpires got the better of them. Look at the free kick count. Tell me how that's not blatant robbery. Melbourne looks so strong defensively, almost keeping Port Adelaide to 0 goals to 3/4 time for Dan Houston. GWS, it's great to see Stephen Cornelio back at it again. I think GWS can match Melbourne in the midfield when they're at their best. If Jesse Hogan can fire, then they'll have a target up forward. They have a good defence. Fremantle on a good day can take it up to the Demons. I think Josh Kelly's your player to watch. He's when he's on, he's a Brownlow type of player. They're going to need him to be at his best if GWS are going to pull off an upset victory at the MCG. Carlton, Port Adelaide. I think I speak for everyone except Carlton fans when I say it's good to see Carlton lose that game against Gold Coast to get a bit of, because the fans, they needed a bit of a reality check there. They were already getting annoying. Port Adelaide, what has happened? Oh my goodness gracious me. It's not rock bottom yet, but it's getting pretty close. I'll tell you what, if they lose next week against West Coast, it is rock bottom, and that's for absolute sure. If they lose this week too. Port Adelaide will be without Ollie Wines for a heart problem. All the best to Ollie. There's an opportunity for a lesser-known Port Adelaide mid to step up. I think the man is Sam Powell-Pepper. Really like him. He's tough around the contest, pretty good with ball in hand. He's a good player, and maybe with Wines out, we'll get an opportunity through the midfield. Carlton will absolutely be looking to bounce back, and Port just have to Port would love this win so much. They need it so much. So this is going to be a cracking contest. Can't wait to watch it. Let me know who you guys think is going to win down in the comments below. This is game of the round for me. Essendon, Fremantle. Who knows where this result's going to go? It is up to the gods of football. It's 50-50, and that makes great games of AFL football. Essendon really clutch last week. Big Sammy Draper versus Sean Darcy. That'll be a matchup if Darcy plays. From Fremantle, they're good, but I'm just not. They're winning, but I'm just not convinced. I want to see more from Fife. I want to see more from Nat Fife. Give him some midfield time. It'll take some pressure off Brayshaw, who's becoming a superstar. Sabrong will emerge. I think it'll be better for Fremantle if Fife plays midfield because he can't kick as a forward. Come on. Looking back to Essendon, Zach Merritt's big out. I called to Darcy Parish to step up, and he did so last week. Oh my goodness gracious me, my fantasy team. This game will go down to the wire. You and I both know it, and it's just going to be amazing to watch. Maybe both teams' defence could be a little stronger, I think. So I think it'll just be won and lost in the midfield. I'll definitely be watching this on the couch. Last but not least, we have the classic Easter fixture, Hawthorn Geelong. Now, if we look at these teams' form, especially last week, you can see Geelong as a clear winner. But this is just that kind of fixture where no matter how the teams are going on the ladder, what's going on, it's always a close, tough game because of how competitive games like this get. Hawthorn, they started great. Can they replicate that form? Geelong are also playing well. I thought they'd drop off a bit because they're just so old, but they just keep coming back. I think one to watch for Hawthorn is Chunkoth Jaff. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. You know what I'm talking about. CJ. When he's up and about, Hawthorn are just so good defensively because he's defensively like a mental case because he marks everything and then he also runs, so he's just such a valuable player to have. A lot of Hawthorn's woes last week were also in their accuracy. I mean, they were bad all round, but if they can kick a bit straighter, looking at you, Mitch Lewis, then they can definitely be in this one. But I'm expecting Geelong to win, but don't be surprised if it goes down to the wire and becomes a really good game. Thank you all so much for watching on my first episode of the Premiership Quarter. If you enjoyed it, stay tuned because after the round, I'm going to be doing my round review. We'll go through all the major events of the round and it should be good. So make sure you stay tuned for that to hopefully bring on a guest as well to make the show a bit, Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.